library lies to the north of St. Peter's. The library represents the efforts of the popes to collect and preserve books, papers, and manuscripts as a testament to the life and history of the Church. It serves not only the history of the Church, but also as a monument to the wisdom and creative genius of mankind. The library contains one of the oldest and most book collections in the Western world. The diversity and vastness of the Vatican collection rests on the generosity of many popes who bequeathed their books to their successors. Thus the library, building on the accumulation of centuries, grew in richness. Among its more than 1 million volumes, it contains 7,000 illuminated manuscripts preceding the 16th century, which are also among the world's largest collections of Judaic and Islamic texts. Christianity is a religion of the book. The faith is disseminated by writings collected in books which speak of sacred things. Learning and libraries are essential not only to get the Church's teachings, but also to adjudicate theological and political disputes according to the Church's doctrine. The Vatican Library follows the ancient tradition of placing collections of artifacts and works of art among the books. These objects adorned the rooms, but were also collected for their historical value and for the contribution that they made to the Church's heritage. This solid gold sculpture of the Good Shepherd was presented to Pope Leo XIII by Emperor Franz Joseph. The Good Shepherd is a Christian symbol of gentleness and spiritual comfort. The galleries of the Vatican Library contain many important religious and artistic collections. Despite their size, the galleries form only one part of the immense library and run along the entire west corridor of the Belvedere courtyards. The galleries are a feast for the eye, an almost endless vision of magnificent decoration. This corridor, with the exception of one room, was built by the great Renaissance architect Bramante in the early 16th century. The installations and decorations of the galleries do not follow any coherent chronological pattern. The installations were directed by many different popes, and the decorative programs reflect different styles of European art and the Vatican Church. The Church has always possessed objects of historical significance, but the history of continuous papal collecting began in the Renaissance, as seen in this copy of a letter of St. Peter. It was written on papyrus in a clear Greek script elegant in its simplicity, probably in the 2nd century AD. The collection grew throughout the following centuries as a result of purchases, commissions, gifts, transfers of works from other buildings, and excavations on the Holy See. During the mid-18th century, it became necessary to organize the Vatican library collections into 2 museums. One was the Museo Sacro, the Museum of Religious Art. The other was the Museo Profano, the Museum of Pagan Antiquities. One for religious manuscripts and objects, the other for pagan art and antiquities. In this manner, the formal tradition of museums within the galleries of the Vatican Library was established. Today, the decoration of the halls and the collection of the artifacts within them make the galleries a celebration of 2 millennia of Western culture. A good part of the credit for this magnificent achievement must go to the late 16th century Pope Sixtus V. It was his grand vision for the beauty and magnificence of the Vatican Library, and for the eclectic collections of objects that constitute its splendid museums. Sixtus's vision was of a Christian Rome that would match the Rome of the ancients, dedicated not to military power, but rather to the glory of God. Rome would once more be caput mundi, but in a world embraced by the Roman Church. To achieve this, Sixtus insisted on the continuity between ancient Rome and its historical antecedents, and the Rome of the Creation. Through this continuity, Catholic Rome became the natural heir to the history of all of the ancient world, and its pagan monuments became part of a Christian legacy. Where pre-Christian art could be displayed within the Vatican as a legitimate celebration of the history and glory of the Church. Succeeding popes followed his example in their splendor to the galleries. In 1611, Pope Paul V, Camillo Borghese, turned his attention to the library and ordered the 2 be annexed to keep 212 Greek manuscripts newly acquired. Giovan Battista recharged with the decoration of the new rooms. In their fanciful ornamental motifs, the eagle icon of the Borghese family's coat of arms take allegorical roles. The galleries of the Vatican Library offer a wonderful opportunity to view acts and decorative themes that have been created by some of the most famous artists of Western culture, and that are represent most of the major cultural and historical traditions of Western Europe and beyond.